I'm going to show you how I edited this photo and a little bit of how I took it. This photo was taken in the Florida Keys in Marathon, Florida. It was a long exposure photograph. I used a 10-stop neutral density filter by Breakthrough Photography. That's the name of the company that makes the neutral density filter. And it was shot using a 24 to 70 millimeter Tamron at f/22 for 30 seconds of exposure time, and that's what allowed me to get the streaky clouds and the glassy water. Okay, so I'm gonna show you now how I edited this in Lightroom. So the first thing I'm going to do is straighten it. Okay, bring up the exposure. I know I'm going to want to get rid of this. This is a sign that says do not climb me. I'll get rid of that in Photoshop. I also plan on brightening these branches and getting rid of this extra grass in Photoshop as well. But I want to do most of my work in Lightroom, and then when that's done, I'll bring it into Photoshop. Bring up the shadows a little bit. Okay. Contrast comes up. I also know I want to make this in black and white, so I'm going to take the saturation down. Bring up some more of the shadow. Highlights come down. Whites come down. You can boost contrast until it hits either side, and then you know you've gone too far. So I'm going to keep pushing contrast until I get there. Now I've hit here, you can see, but it's only in the right-hand corner where I've gone too dark, so I'm going to keep pushing, and I haven't overexposed yet at all. Here we go. Bring the shadows up. Boost clarity. Okay. Now I'm going to go in and brighten up these branches. You can see dust spots up here. I'll get rid of those as well. Don't want to get rid of dust spots or do any kind of removal in Lightroom just because it's really not very powerful at all and it's not designed for it. I could mask this, but I'm not going to. New brush, double click effect to get everything reset down to 0. I'm going to boost the shadows here and boost exposure. Now it looks a little overdone right now. So what I'll do is when I pull back out and zoom out, yeah, it's definitely overdone. When I zoom out, I'll see how overdone it is and then bring it back. Oops. It's definitely going to be overdone. This print wouldn't, if I were to print this, it wouldn't be very big, so you wouldn't be able to really see it. However, I do want to make sure that it doesn't just kind of turn black. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Doesn't look too overdone, but it also doesn't look very even either. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Okay. And I want to bring the shadows up here because this is a bit too dark. New brush, double click effect to get everything set to 0. Bring the exposure up in here just for some contrast. And I would like to darken the sky. I could do it with this filter, graduated filter, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do some spot here. I'm going to double click effect to get a new one. Bring the exposure down, bring contrast up, bring clarity up so this sky can pop. Okay. I might even do that a little more here. Bring whites down. Nope, that's going to muddle it too much. I'll try to bring some highlights down, boost contrast. In and around here. If I bring the exposure down, that might work. Okay. I'm going to hop over into Photoshop to get rid of this area and some of this extra grass down here. Photo, edit in Adobe Photoshop. It's thinking. What's nice is it's going to send it right over into Adobe Photoshop. I'll make the changes. I'll click File, Save, and it'll send it right back into Lightroom, so I don't have to go messing around with files and reopening it and importing what I did into Lightroom. So I should be good. I'm not going to say I'm the best at removal or anything like that in Photoshop, but I'll just show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit Option and zoom in to zoom in. And I'm going to do a clone stamp or patch healing tool. And I'll bring a lasso around here and drag it up to another part that looks fairly similar, maybe just right below it. And see what I get. Not too great. I'll do it again in this portion that doesn't look so hot. And again here. Again, you could go in and spend much more time in detail in it, but when it's zoomed out, nobody will know. Command D to deselect. Let's bring it out and see. It's really only these corners that are sticking out, so what I'll do is I'll spot heal these corners away. Okay, and let's see if I go around these edges, if that'll help us a little bit, but it's not very well defined. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to step that back and try smudging it. And we'll see how the smudge works. Nope. I'm going to try some more clone stamping. Patch tool, I keep calling it that. Get rid of this and bring it up here. That looks better. Okay, not perfect, but again, I don't think anybody would really know looking at it, especially from far away. Let's get rid of some of these grass, this grass here, just using the simple little band-aid. I'm getting rid of this because it's distracting, and what I want is as simple of a file as I can, simple as an image, just to give it a more surrealistic look, and I don't want it really to look like a photograph. Kind of want it to be almost like a painting. Okay, it doesn't have to be too perfect. This is distracting here, so I'll get rid of it. And I'm going to go in and get rid of just a little bit right now of some of these dust spots. What I did was I shot at f/22 so that I could get as long of an exposure as I could, and that's generally not the best idea because you do get some diffraction, and worst yet, you get these really annoying dust spots if your sensor isn't clean, which I'm sure yours isn't. You can see there's a million of them, and you could go in there and kind of spend more time in there, which I'm not going to do right now. You want to make sure you get rid of these dust spots because what will happen is you'll see that this looks like some lens flare. If you go to make a print, you're going to be disappointed when it comes out, and it's not going to. You're going to wonder, see, this is terrible. But yeah, you just go in there and get rid of these. I'm not going to do all of it right now, just some of these big ones. Can't really see them when you zoom out, but you'll be disappointed in your print. I just go to File, Save, and that's going to send it back over to Lightroom. which is great. We can see the difference here with this sign covered up now. Let's just do some final touches. I'm going to bring down the post crop. It's a little bit of a lazy way. I should have gone around and done it manually. And I think I'm going to sharpen it a little bit. Okay. Even though Lightroom will sharpen, I could probably go back and continue to lighten up this area. But I think I'm going to actually bring this area down a little bit just to bring the focus completely into the tree. So I'm going to make a new brush, double click effect to bring it down, exposure, bring everything down a little bit, especially down here. Yeah. Sometimes what I like to do is play around, click done to get out of your brush, play around a little bit with this dehaze. It's usually no good. It usually goes over the top, but we'll try it a little bit. See if I go all the way over the top. But go a little, what they say is to go a little bit past what feels comfortable and then dial it back. So again, I could go in and get rid of this dust. I would like to make these branches a little bit brighter, but ultimately we have a shot that I'm pretty happy with. Shift tab to make it big, L1 to dim the, L once to dim the lights, L again to turn the lights all the way out. And that looks pretty good to me. Hopefully you made it all the way through watching this video. What I'm going to do, I plan on doing in the future, is if I get subscribers and a decent amount of views, I'm going to not just show the editing part of the video, but I will plan on doing live footage, or at least filmed footage of how I scout, how I find my areas, how I set up the shot, what I was thinking, and then taking it back home and editing it.